It's such a blessing for me to connect with you and your beautiful spirit. Today's session is all about creating abundant self-worth. During the session, we will move through and resolve the patterns that once held us back from experiencing high amounts of self-worth and open ourselves up to really experiencing that nourishing, deep, healing self-worth so that it can be that foundation to creating and shaping our next chapter of our reality. The healing technology we will use during this session is the core work, which allows us to use applied quantum physics in a way that helps us release the deeply rooted patterns and blocks that we've outgrown and helps us align with a more expansive way of showing up in our lives, which leads to the miraculous transformations we desire. Let's set the intention that whatever healings, miracles, blessings, shifts, transformations, ahas that we are ready to receive, accept, and step into, that we do so with ease, grace, and joy in the highest and best way for each of us. If you agree, please affirm out loud, and so it is. All right, my beautiful friend, do I have your permission to connect with your energy? If so, just say yes. Let's begin by asking the I Am presence within each of us to give us the highest wisdom, knowledge, understanding of what self-worth really is, what it means, what it looks like, and make our perspective the same as that expanded universal perspective. If you want that, say yes. For any and all times we had misconceptions around what worth means, what it was taught to be, can we show us all the lessons we were meant to learn from all of those experiences so that we can move past many of the misconceptions and so that the mind can be open and ready for the healing to occur today? If you want that, say yes. Self-worth is the prerequisite to receiving our blessings. It's the foundation to help us receive. When we are having that healthy, nourishing, abundant self-worth, what happens is the mind is able to actually receive our blessings. When we are not nourishing ourselves and allowing ourselves to have that deep sense of self-worth, the mind is then unable to fully receive the blessings. So imagine all of those blessings that are just waiting for us simply because that foundation of self-worth is being asked to fully be embraced and loved and nourished. Can you imagine what the possibilities are now when we let that be our next step to fully anchor a deep, healthy, nourishing amount of self-worth for ourselves? For any time the mind lost its understanding of what self-worth, positive, healthy, abundant, nourishing self-worth looks like, what it feels like, what it actually is, can we show it all the lessons it was meant to learn from all of those experiences now? If you want that, say yes. Can we have our I Am presence show the mind how to recognize the value in self-worth? And what I mean by that is the mind actually works on that value system. If it understands and recognizes that something is valuable for it or to it, it will be on board. If it doesn't recognize the value, if it's not easy to understand, it will see it as something that is not safe and something that is not comfortable. So it will do everything that it can to try to resist that experience. So in this case, when we show the mind how to recognize the value in feeling that deep, rich, beautiful, abundant self-worth and show it how to extract and receive those blessings from that, it's going to be on board. So can we have your I Am presence show your mind how to fully recognize the value and the worth in actual self-worth? Would you like that now? If you want that, say yes. So in order for the mind to fully understand and receive the value of self-worth, it's important to ask ourselves the question, how has it served us to not fully embrace self-worth? On the surface level, the mind may say, oh, that didn't serve me at all. Of course, I should definitely have self-worth. However, when we are experiencing something in our life over and over and over again, it's because the mind is recognizing something in it that feels valuable. So in this case, the mind is finding value in not having self-worth. What does that look like? So, for example, everyone is different, but I'll give you a few examples today. It could be that someone doesn't like to stand out and they like to hide. So it serves them to not have high amounts of self-worth because it allows them to hide. Someone may have an energy of wanting to fix everything and has the pattern of putting themselves last, not making themselves a priority. So not having high amounts of self-worth would serve that. So there's many different ways that it can show up. Whatever reason that your mind is still finding value in not having self-worth that is nourishing and uplifting and expansive, can we show you all of the lessons from all of those timelines, whichever life that occurred, and can we go ahead and make it so that you have those now so you don't have to keep repeating those lessons? If you want that, say yes. And any self-judgment that goes along with asking that question, how does it serve me? Can we show you all the lessons from all of those judgments? And can we show you how to move through those judgments in a way that's kind, compassionate, and caring for yourself? If you want that, say yes. So from this space of kindness and compassion, it would be very easy to understand that of course, self-worth and having lack of self-worth would be showing up in the way that it has been in our lives. First of all, no one actually taught us, we didn't go to a specific school that taught us how to build self-worth in a way that's sustaining, long-lasting, and nourishing, and as a foundation. No one ever actually taught us that because they didn't know any better. So of course our self-worth would not be at its peak and its highest if we were not taught that. So it can be more easy to have compassion and love for those parts of ourselves that just didn't know what else to do. But now that we are shedding some light on this subject, now that we are bringing this to the forefront, the mind is remembering what our spirit always knew, that you are always complete, you are always whole. And from that space, self-worth is infinite. That feeling of self-worth and expansion and oneness and abundance and love, all of those are infinite when we are in that awareness of who we are, which is pure perfection and wholeness. That is who you are. There's no other way about it. The mind will try to convince you that there are, and that's fine. It'll just take some lessons learned and overcoming and all that struggle that we've all been through already, but it will all come back to this awareness that you are complete and whole. So can we have your I Am presence show you all of the lessons that you were meant to learn from all those times where you saw yourself anything less than complete and whole? If you want that, say yes. Self-worth, if you want to see it as an object, imagine it as a beautiful, rare diamond. And so when we treat it with care and love, this beautiful diamond will shine in its full glory. So your self-worth is that beautiful diamond that just needed a little bit of polishing, a little bit of love, and a little bit of care so that it can shine fully. It's not like it was never there. It's always been there. The fact that you exist is that confirmation. The fact that you are here right now listening to this with me and co-creating this healing session together, the fact that you are breathing, the fact that you can be in this moment is the only confirmation that you need to know that you already have a deep sense of self-worth within you. It was simply that the mind didn't know how to digest it, how to understand it, and integrate it into our reality. So what I'd like to do is have our I Am presence show the mind how to recognize the value in understanding, digesting, and integrating with our deep sense of self-worth in a way that feels expansive, nourishing, and loving. If you want that, say yes. Good. Take a deep breath in and release. These sessions will work on deeper layers each time you listen to them. All right, my beautiful friends. So with that being said, thank you again. I love you so much. Until next time, have a miraculous day, and I'll talk to you soon. Hey, my friend, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and comment. I'd love to hear from you. Have a miraculous day.